important knock in Dharamshala. And you can look at a lot of these small things, and actually that's what really gives you those ticks or gives you those wins at the end of the day. So it's a combination of things, and touchwood, our middle order has been truly exceptional in this tournament.
Rahul, you mentioned Shreyas just now, and there's a lot spoken about him externally. Of course, I'm sure not within the team. After those couple of dismissals, playing the pull shot and stuff, but then he's come back and he's played two fantastic knocks since then. Uh, what does he bring to the table that makes him such a special player? At that number 4 spot.
He brings temperament. I think one of the things Shreyas has shown us is right from the time that I've seen him as sort of an India A. He came and played India A when I was coaching those days. And I think one of the things that's really stood out about me is his temperament. The way he handles success, failure. You just look at even some of his knocks under pressure, how he's able to actually bring the best out of himself under those pressure situations. So it's about, you can go on about everyone will have areas that they need to work on and they need to improve. It's not, someone might have some other area. There's no complete batsman who can say that I know everything or I'm very good at everything. I mean, it's, you're always going to need areas to improve. But in the end of the day, you have to be judged by the results you produce and the runs you score and when you score them. And I think Shreyas, one of the things that does stand out, look at some of his test innings, look at how he started his test debut, look at some of the critical knocks he's played for us. I mean, even in the 2 years that I've been here, Bangladesh, that game, extreme pressure. Who's the guy who stands up? Ash and Shreyas, guys like that who incredible temperament, incredible strength of mind. And I think that's what has held him in really good stead. He's terrific temperamentally. So when someone like him does well, he's going to make big contributions. And it might not always work out, but when it does, someone like him is going to make a big play.
Rahul, you mentioned associate cricket a little earlier. Do you think more can be done outside of ICC events in terms of giving them opportunities, perhaps through the A team or some similar programs?
Yeah, I wouldn't know the exact details of how to go about it in a press conference like this, but certainly, I think, and I think it's really good. It's heartening to see. I think the next 2020 World Cup had 20 teams participating in it. Cricket's in the Olympics as well in 2027, I think, 28. So cricket's in the Olympics as well. So I think these are really good signs that show that we're trying to embrace more teams into it. It's complex. It's not easy. There are only 365 days in the year. There's so much of cricket being played. It's becoming harder even for. I know how tough our schedules are, and it's very harder for the more established teams or the more the sort of the non-associate teams itself to be able to fit in time and calendar to play each other. To find that balance, but like you said, maybe the route is to go down A-team cricket, and then these specific tournaments like this, they're qualifiers, they're tournaments like having 20 people in a T20 World Cup, Olympics. So I think it's growing, and it's good to see that. It's going in the right direction, I think.
Rahul, hi. A word on about the 4 to 5 injured players. They were injured till 2 to 3 months before the World Cup. They have managed to hit the ground running, and also a word on the NCA itself and how they have managed this quick turnaround.
Yeah, so I think it's been a really good thing for us. Obviously, a lot of thought and planning has gone into it. I think you need. So there's a combination of things. In these things, you need a little bit of luck as well. You need a bit of luck to go your way. Unfortunately, we've had. I think it's been great for us to have those guys back fit and ready for this tournament. Just in time for this tournament. Our margins were tight. Our lines were tight. We knew that some of them would be coming in just at the Asia Cup prior to this tournament. So we had to make some contingency plans. We looked at other stuff. But the fact that they were able to come in into this tournament is a tribute and to their own efforts and hard work, the efforts of the NCA, the physios, the trainers at the NCA, for ensuring that we stuck to those timelines and managed to hit those timelines as and when as soon as we could, and a little bit of luck as well. You need a little bit of luck in these things. Sometimes they go this way, sometimes they go that way, knowing that 3 weeks here, 4 weeks here, and you can lose a player. So it's a combination of all of those things, but But yeah, I think when you're playing big tournaments like this, you want
इसमें भी तो वही
your
बनता
best
है,
players
श्रीलाल
playing.
के सामने जो है,
Unfortunately, at the T20 World Cup, we probably did have a little bit of that luck, especially when you lose players like Booms and Jaddu. At the World Test Championship, we missed a couple of guys. Even here, to be honest, we have missed a couple of guys. One before the tournament and one during the tournament. But we've been able to respond really well so far. And I think that's been again something I'm very proud of. We had a balance. We knew what a balance is. We've structured the whole thing around certain things. But when that hasn't happened, we've had the ability, the skill, and the mental fortitude to be able to bounce back and to be able to still compete and do really well. So yeah, I think credit to the guys, credit to, like I said, I think even the NCA for all the work that they do. A lot of the stuff is behind the scenes. People don't get to see it. People don't see it. And it's not easy, some of these things, to get people right in professional sport. Sometimes people think, it's easy to get injured players playing again. It's not that simple. It's easy to get people playing when you have an injury in normal life, and getting back on the park and getting back to normal office work is easy, but getting back to people to professional sport is not easy. So yeah, well done to everyone so far.
Hey Rahul. There's just a 2-day gap after tomorrow's match before the semi-final. In terms of the mindset, is a shift required in terms of when a team is playing a knockout game? Does that require a mindset shift? And if yes, how do the players approach that?
Not really. I mean, I think we just want to focus one game at a time. You still have to play good cricket, whether you're playing in a league game, as we've done, or whether you've got to play a semi-final. I mean, you've just got certain skills. You've got to execute. And execute really well and execute better than the opposition. So you just got to focus on that. Focus on what you can control, which is your skills, your ability. Prepare yourself both mentally, physically, as best as you can for the game, and then yeah, just play that game and try and do the best in that particular game.
Rahul sir, recently we have seen a few incidents which has, again created a lot of debate, especially on the other side of the ground, is that playing with the spirit of cricket and maintaining the, rule of cricket. So there is a lot of debate on this. So just wanted to know your view or the views of the players those who perform on the field, how they take in situation like this, especially. You have been, during your playing career, you have been a part of a situation where MS Dhoni recalled Ian Bell. So under these circumstances, how do players, think?
So I think, like you just said yourself, I mean, everyone thinks differently. We are all unique creatures, and we have our own minds and our own thoughts. And the players will be the same. Each one of us will think differently about a particular situation. And there's no real right and wrong. I mean, you can go and debate both the situations. You can debate whether we have to stick to the rules as they are, or you have to sometimes give a little leeway for a little bit of spirit of cricket. And there'll be people on both sides of the camp. And I think just understanding that it's okay to have those differences is fine. It's fine to have those differences, and some people might agree or not agree with certain decisions that were taken. Others will say, no, it's in the rules, so I'm allowed to do it. And that's the way it is. You can't, when someone wants to take the letter of the rule law to the last nth degree, I don't think you can complain about it, because honestly, he's just following the rules as he sees it. Yeah, I mean, you might not do it yourself. I mean, we might not do it, but you can't blame somebody for following it, because you put that in place, and you have to give scope for that level of understanding of somebody. Whether you choose to do it or not is completely your decision, and Thank you.